Welcome back to the channel, the place where we explore the dark corners of the internet and the strange stories that lurk within. Tonight, we're turning our attention to the unsettling world of unexplained sounds. Specifically, sounds captured in the wild by unsuspecting hikers. Imagine yourself alone deep in the woods, the only sounds, the chirping of crickets and the rustling of leaves. Then you hear it, something unexplainable, something terrifying. These are the kinds of sounds that make you question everything you thought you knew about the world around you, the kind of sounds that stay with you long after you've left the forest. Are you ready to listen? Welcome to our channel, where we delve into the most chilling and unexplainable mysteries. Today we bring you 3 terrifying forest sounds recorded by hikers that will send shivers down your spine. Our first sound takes us deep into the heart of Germany, to the Black Forest. This vast, dense woodland is not just a natural wonder, but a place where history and mystery intertwine. The Black Forest, or Schwarzwald as it's known in German, is a region that has captivated the imagination of many for centuries, a place steeped in legend and folklore. Tales of witches, werewolves, and enchanted creatures have been passed down through generations, each story adding to the forest's enigmatic allure. A place where the trees are said to whisper secrets to the wind. The rustling leaves and creaking branches create a symphony of sounds that can be both soothing and unsettling, depending on the listener's state of mind. The Black Forest has inspired countless fairy tales, but beneath the surface of these whimsical stories lies a current of something darker, something ancient. The dense canopy and shadowy undergrowth seem to hide secrets that are waiting to be discovered. It was here that a lone hiker, venturing off the beaten path, encountered something he couldn't explain. The deeper he went, the more he felt the forest closing in around him, as if it were alive and aware of his presence. Something he caught on camera. The footage, though shaky and unclear, captured the essence of the forest's eerie atmosphere. The shadows seemed to move with a life of their own, and strange, indistinct shapes flitted between the trees. The hiker described feeling uneasy as he walked. Every snap of a twig and rustle of leaves heightened his sense of dread. He couldn't shake the feeling that he was not alone, a sense of being watched. The feeling grew stronger with each step, as if unseen eyes were tracking his every move. The forest, once a place of beauty, now felt like a living entity with a will of its own. The hairs on the back of his neck stood on end, and a cold sweat clung to his skin. His heart pounded in his chest, each beat echoing in the silence of the forest. He pressed on, drawn deeper into the woods by an unseen force. It was as if the forest itself was calling to him, pulling him further into its depths. As the sun began to set, casting long, eerie shadows through the trees, he heard it. A sound that seemed to come from everywhere and nowhere at once. A sound like a voice. It was faint at first, almost indistinguishable from the rustling leaves, but it grew louder, more insistent. A low, guttural moan seemed to emanate from the very trees themselves. It was a sound that chilled him to the bone, a sound that spoke of ancient things best left undisturbed. He fumbled for his phone, hitting record just as the sound reached its terrifying crescendo. The recording captured the eerie moan, a haunting reminder of his encounter with the unknown. Our next sound takes us to the United States, to the vast wilderness of the Appalachian Trail. This iconic trail, often referred to simply as the AT, is a haven for hikers and nature enthusiasts alike. Stretching from Georgia to Maine, it offers a journey through some of the most breathtaking landscapes in the country. A place of rugged beauty and home to countless stories of unexplained phenomena. The Appalachian Trail is not just a physical challenge, but a mental and emotional one as well. Many who venture here speak of an almost mystical connection to the land, a feeling that they are walking through a place that is both ancient and alive. The Appalachian Trail stretches for over 2,000 miles, winding its way through some of the most remote and unforgiving terrain in the country. It passes through 14 states, each offering its own unique scenery and challenges. From the rolling hills of Virginia to the rugged peaks of New Hampshire, the trail is a testament to the diverse beauty of the American wilderness. It's a place that tests the limits of human endurance, and some say a place where the veil between our world and the next wears thin. The dense forests and misty mountains have given rise to numerous legends and ghost stories, making the trail a magnet for those seeking both adventure and the supernatural. Our story comes from a group of friends who were hiking a particularly isolated stretch of the trail. They were seasoned hikers, well prepared for the journey ahead, but nothing could have prepared them for what they were about to experience. They had been warned by locals about strange occurrences in the area. Tales of eerie sounds, mysterious lights, and even disappearances had been shared with them. But like many before them, they dismissed these stories as mere folklore, whispers of missing hikers and unexplained lights in the sky. The locals spoke of these phenomena with a mix of fear and reverence, as if acknowledging the presence of something beyond human understanding. But they were undeterred, eager to experience the raw beauty of the Appalachian Mountains for themselves. The allure of the trail, with its promise of solitude and natural splendor, was too strong to resist. As they made their way through a dense section of forest, the air thick with the smell of pine needles and damp earth, they began to hear a sound. It was subtle at first, almost blending in with the natural symphony of the forest. At first it was faint, a barely perceptible noise that seemed to come from the very heart of the forest. The hikers stopped in their tracks, straining their ears to catch the elusive sound, a low humming that seemed to vibrate through the air. It was unlike anything they had ever heard before, a sound that seemed to resonate with the very essence of the forest. They paused, listening intently, trying to place the source of the sound. It was as if the forest itself was trying to communicate with them, sending out a message that was both intriguing and unsettling. But it seemed to be coming from everywhere and nowhere at once. The sound enveloped them, creating an almost tangible presence that was impossible to ignore. As they continued on, the sound grew louder, more insistent. It was as if the forest was alive, its voice growing stronger with each step they took. It was a high-pitched, metallic whine, like the grinding of gears on a colossal machine. The sound was both mesmerizing and terrifying, a stark contrast to the natural beauty that surrounded them. The hikers exchanged uneasy glances, their laughter dying in their throats. The once jovial atmosphere was now charged with tension as they realized they were not alone in the forest. Chapter 3. The Pacific Northwest Sound. Our final sound takes us to the Pacific Northwest of the United States, a region shrouded in mist and mystery. This area is renowned for its dense forests, towering mountains, and a coastline that seems to stretch endlessly. The Pacific Northwest is a place where nature's beauty and its eerie, enigmatic qualities coexist in perfect harmony. A place where towering trees cast long shadows and the air is thick with the smell of damp earth and pine needles. The forest floor is a rich tapestry of moss, fallen leaves, and the occasional mushroom, creating an environment that feels both ancient and alive. The Pacific Northwest is a place where nature reigns supreme. The dense canopy overhead filters the sunlight, creating a world of perpetual twilight beneath the trees. It's a realm where the natural world holds sway and human presence feels almost insignificant, a place where the wilderness seems to stretch on forever. From the rugged coastline to the sprawling forests, the landscape is vast and untamed. It's easy to lose oneself in the sheer scale of it all, to feel like a small part of something much larger and more profound. It's also a place with a long history of strange encounters and unexplained phenomena. The thick fog that often blankets the region adds to its mysterious allure, making it a perfect setting for tales of the unknown. From the legend of Bigfoot to tales of UFO sightings, the Pacific Northwest has always held a certain allure for those who seek the unknown. These stories have been passed down through generations, adding to the mystique of the region. And it was here, in the heart of this enigmatic region, that a group of campers stumbled upon something truly unsettling. They were drawn to the area by its beauty and its reputation for adventure, but they found more than they bargained for. They had set up camp near a remote lake, surrounded by towering trees that seemed to blot out the sky. The lake's still waters reflected the dense forest, creating an almost mirror-like surface that added to the sense of isolation. As night fell and the campfire crackled merrily, they began to hear a series of strange sounds coming from the woods. The firelight flickered, casting eerie shadows that danced among the trees, heightening their sense of unease. At first it was just a low rumbling like distant thunder. The sound was faint, almost imperceptible, but it was enough to catch their attention and make them pause. But as the night wore on, the sound grew louder, more insistent. It was as if the forest itself was coming alive, the trees and the earth beneath them resonating with a deep, primal energy. It was a deep, guttural growl, unlike anything they had ever heard before. The sound seemed to come from all around them, echoing through the trees and reverberating in their chests. The campers exchanged nervous glances, their laughter dying in their throats. The once jovial atmosphere around the campfire was replaced by a tense silence, each of them straining to hear the next sound. They huddled closer to the fire, their eyes darting nervously into the darkness beyond the flickering flames. The fire, once a source of comfort, now seemed like a fragile barrier against the unknown. The sound continued throughout the night, a relentless barrage of growls and snarls that seemed to shake the very ground beneath their feet. It was as if the forest itself was alive, a living, breathing entity that was watching them, waiting. So there you have it, 3 chilling sounds from the depths of the unknown, 3 reminders that we are not alone in this world. Which sound did you find the most unsettling? Let me know in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this journey into the heart of darkness, be sure to hit that subscribe button for more explorations into the unexplained. Until next time, sleep tight, and don't forget to listen closely to the sounds of the night. You never know what might be listening back.